Finally, it's to John Anderson that I really wish to give a special thanks, because he's been a tower of strength and I have really valued his considerable judgment in guiding me over the past 2 years. The man described by the Daily Mail as one of the big beasts of open prostate surgery has been a national and international presence in guiding standards in urological cancer care for our patients. His qualities of a speaker are legendary, and as a chair, he has that unique ability to get to the heart of the issue, ask probing questions, and then summarize the topic into key take-home messages, qualities that I really envy. He's been passionately involved with BAUS in all its facets for several years now, and his contribution to our association over the last 10 years has been immense. Secretary and Chairman of the Section of Oncology, then Honorary Secretary-elect and Secretary in 2007-2009. John took over the best of BAUS from Tony Mundy, and I really feel that this title succinctly reflects the stature of the man and the regard with which he's held by this association. 2 years ago, you, the membership, elected John to be president, recognising those assets of ability and leadership, and at the March Council dinner, trustees and council acknowledged this achievement with the award of a special medal. I know that John wants to close this address with a few words, and I welcome him to the podium. However, I think it's important that we as an association formally record our sincerest thanks for all his efforts and endeavours on behalf of BAUS.
So, thank you very much, Adrian, for those incredibly kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As Adrian said, it was just over 2 years ago. I was a very proud man when you elected me to be the next president of BAUS. I guess I felt a great sense of achievement and that I had reached a pinnacle in my career as a urological surgeon. I was very keen to take on the challenges involved in leadership of our association, and I've enjoyed working with Adrian as vice president immensely. As many of you will know, however, I have now decided for health reasons that it would not be in the best interests of BAUS for me to take up the presidency itself. And for that decision, I feel a profound sense of regret. You can imagine that standing here today is actually quite a bittersweet moment for me. I felt, however, that I did want to speak to you so that I could explain the reasons for my decision and then maybe say a few words about how I am and how I see things now. In February, I became aware of a mass in my upper abdomen. A CT scan confirmed multiple liver metastases, but with no obvious primary tumour anywhere to be seen. At that time, I was fit and well and completely without symptoms, and I remain that way today, which is clearly very good news. Liver biopsies have since confirmed a poorly differentiated adenocarcinoma. Subsequent immunohistochemistry showed the tumour to stain positive for, yes, you've guessed it, PSA. My serum PSA, when checked at that stage, was 92.7 nanograms per mil. In October, just 4 months earlier, my PSA was 1.7 nanograms per mil. Put that into the PSA screening debate. I don't know about other oncology colleagues here, but I have never seen anyone without symptoms or evidence of disease elsewhere present with liver metastases as the first manifestation of prostate cancer. But that's what I appear to have. So given all this, I hope that you agree that my decision not to take up a 2-year presidency is not only the right thing for BAUS, but it is also probably the right thing for me. Maximising quality of life has always been my priority, and there seems to be even more reason for me to do that now. So that's where I am. I cannot change things, but I do have to deal with them, and part of dealing with them is why I'm here today. What do I want to say to you? I don't want to talk about cancer or my treatment. Feels like I've spent my working life doing that. And neither do I want to talk about those things that really matter to me, like my wife and family. That's strictly for me, and I think even if I tried, I know it would just become too difficult. No, what I do want to say is something about how I'm feeling just now, and then maybe put that in some sort of context for you and for BAUS. So how do I feel? Well, actually, I'm very good. I'm well and in great health for now. Since my diagnosis was made before I developed any symptoms, I've been able to enjoy a pretty good quality of life, and long may that continue. That's got to be better than working hard to the day you suddenly realise you've become jaundiced or developed symptoms. I can assure you I'm not in denial. I'm well aware of what is to come. So inevitably there is a degree of sadness. But the other overwhelming feeling I have is it's just not fair. When my kids used to say that to me, I would ask them, whoever said it was? I've always thought that a person's character is not defined by the cards they are dealt in life, but much more by how they choose to play them. And so that is why I'm doing what I'm doing, which is just getting on with it. And I'll tell you what is good. I have no regrets. When I look back, I realise I've done lots of worthwhile and interesting things, but most importantly, I've enjoyed them all. There is very little that I would have changed, and you know, that's a much better place to be in than many others find themselves. I've probably been very fortunate in that respect, and hopefully there are plenty of more good times still to come. What I really do want is as much normality as possible, for as long as possible. I've always believed in living for the day, and now, more than ever, I can see why. If I had one message for you, it would be just this. Enjoy it all as much as you can, because none of us are here for long. So that's me. What have I got to say for you? Do you know, urology has provided me with a fantastic career. I can think of very few other walks of life where I would have encountered such wonderful people. And by that I mean patients as well as colleagues. And I've also been able to work in and visit some great places. But most importantly, I have found urology to be an immensely stimulating specialty, with a very sound intellectual and scientific foundation which allows us to try and get things right for the patients we treat. I don't suddenly want to sound all worldly wise, but I would say to try and not miss that. There's this situation when you get bogged down in the minutiae of daily practice, and we all know that's very easy to do. Urology really is a great career. And then there's BAUS. Well, BAUS is you. I know from working in the organisation, when I last totted it up, that was for some 13 years, I know it has an overwhelming sense of purpose, which is to bring us together in order to make us work stronger in all that we strive to do. As I've already said, I'd always relished taking on a leadership role for BAUS. If I'd been able to take up the presidency, I would have focused on 3 things, some of which Adrian has covered. The most obvious is the political challenge. Along with the rest of the NHS, I think BAUS is in for a rough ride with Mr. Lansley's new proposals for commissioning our services. What we should remember, however, is that the men and women we see will continue to experience urological problems, and that we are the only ones who are qualified and have the skills to treat them. Patients need to be given that message, to have it spelled out for them in no uncertain terms, with BAUS leading the charge in that respect. Secondly, I think there is the challenge of the ongoing evolution of our specialty. New technologies, new treatments, new ways of working. That's why we're here. That's what we're all about. BAUS is here to improve the service for our patients by allowing these discussions on these developments to occur in a corporate way, not only in meetings such as this, but also in the section and the education meetings that occur throughout the year. And for me, the final challenge would have been to try and add a sense of fun and adventure and bring BAUS even closer together. I think we would have had a blast. These challenges are still all there, and I'd like to wish Adrian and Mark Speakman the very best of luck when they take them on. I know they will work tirelessly on your behalf, and I'm sure that if we all work together with them, BAUS will be in very good hands. Now, I want to finish on a personal note, if you'll allow me. I've been absolutely overwhelmed by the tidal wave of good wishes from colleagues. Letters, cards, emails, telephone messages, texts. There are just too many for me to be able to reply individually. But I want you to know that the love and support that has come with those messages has immense power. It's certainly lifted me during my bad moments and carried me through some difficult times. So please keep them coming. So thank you all for your kindness and support. I wish you and BAUS all the very best for the future. Thank you.